What's up, guys? Nick and Dustin here with Two Brothers Comics, and today we're going to go through our top 10 comics in our collections. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in once again. Wanted to make sure we let you guys know, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss out on any of our content. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. We put out a wide variety of content, from comic book reviews, new comic book day watch list, and creator interviews from some of our favorite titles. So make sure you guys check it out week to week. We're always bringing in new content. Coming in at number 10, this is a book that I really love, mainly because the cover is so cool. So coming in at number 10 is Baraka number 1. And this is a one-shot from Malibu Comics from the 90s Mortal Kombat series. Love the cover art on this book. It was so well done. Had to make my top 10 list. And at number 9, Amazing Adventures, issue number 11. This is the first appearance of the Beast with fur. Now, back then, he's not that blue color that we grown to love now. He started out with the gray fur, and he looked really cool. I love the old artwork of the Beast when he first started getting the fur. He looked much more intense and a lot meaner, so I really love it. And I'm working on getting this entire series, but issue number 11 is definitely my favorite out of the series. Number 8, gotta have Wolverine in my top 10 list. Issue 145, the second print. Now, the second print is one of the more low print runs of this issue. There were 3 different prints for this. You had cover A, which had no foil. You had cover B with silver foil, and this second print that had that pretty and really good looking gold foil on the claws there. Just a really great looking cover. It's kind of hard to find, and mine is really special to me because I love Wolverine. It's one of my favorite covers that he's ever had in comics. And number 7 is my Fantastic Four, issue 112. Now, a couple of things about this book. One, it's the only Fantastic Four book I have in my collection. This was the second fight between the Incredible Hulk and the Thing. It's a very iconic cover and a very iconic storyline, and I'm so pumped that I got it recently at my local comic shop. It's in really good shape. For a black cover to have no spine ticks, to be that old, is really something to be proud to own, and I definitely am. And coming in at number 6 is a book that I picked up raw at a local comic shop when I first started collecting, Uncanny X-Men 266, featuring the first appearance of my man Gambit. I picked this book up raw. It was in great shape, but I was super surprised when I got it back from my first send-off to CGC in a 9.8.
Dustin, so it was a really awesome list, and definitely can agree with most of those. For me, my first book on the list at number 10 is going to be Thor 337. For me, this is 100% a cover book for me. I love Beta Ray Bill in the book. Even though it is his first appearance, even if it wasn't, I would probably pick this book up anytime just for the cover. Number 9 on my list is going to be Bone 13. Now, this is a book that was really important to me because it was a book that I actually read in my childhood. Except at the time, I didn't realize it was comics. It was a trade paperback that was given to me, and I absolutely loved the story. And then as I became an adult, I decided I was going to try and find a book and buy it, and I actually was able to pick up one signed by Jeff Smith himself. 8 on the list is going to be Wolverine number 1 from the limited issue series. Now, the reason why I picked this book was because when we first started comic collecting, it was an iconic cover and story. And so to me, it was one of my first grails, so to speak. And when I was able to pick it up, I ended up buying 3, 4. At one point, I think I had 5 at a time. I've sold out most of them. I think I still have 2 in my collection, but it's a classic Wolverine cover. 7 on the list is going to be Teen Titans number 12. This is because it's the first appearance of the Batman Who Laughs. It has truly become one of my favorite characters of all time. So number 6 on the list is going to be Kanto number 1. This quickly became one of my favorite stories of last year, and to me, something about it really resonated with me, and so it is something that I've preached that I think everybody should read this book. I finally was able to get Dustin on the book, and he absolutely loved it, and I'm pretty excited about seeing what's going to happen with the next story arcs.
And coming in at my number 5 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 4, and this is the first print. I don't have a lot of Turtles books in my collection right now because I'm a first print only collector, and those first print Turtle early books are really expensive and hard to find. This one I was able to get off of a close friend of mine who buys and sells books. It's in super great shape, and I want to get it graded at some point, but I'm really going to hold off and hopefully be able to get Kevin Eastman to sign it so that I can get that yellow label. And at number 4, another Turtles book. It's a first print, and this one has a lot of meaning to me because Raphael #1 was a book that I was really wanting to get because it is the first appearance of Casey Jones, who is probably my first or second favorite character in the Turtles series. And my brother picked this up for me for my birthday last year, so that was a great gift from him. And on top of all that, on the inside cover, it's got Kevin Eastman's signature and that signature sketch with the turtle head on there. For number 3 is going to be Mortal Kombat issue #1. This hollow foil variant. Now, this was mass produced, but I found one on Instagram when I was looking for the Mortal Kombat series that was in such great shape it blew my mind. I sent it off to CGC in my first CGC send-off haul. It came back a 9.8. It's a really cool cover. When you hit it right with the light, you got the flame shooting up behind that iconic dragon symbol. It's just a really cool book and really nostalgic for me because Mortal Kombat was a big part of my childhood and something I've always loved. What would a top 10 comics list be from me without a Power Rangers book in the mix? So, coming in at number 2, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, issue #0, the Goni Montez White Ranger variant. This was a 1 in 500, and this was a book I was after for quite some time. I picked it up raw from a seller on Facebook. They shipped it in. It got damaged in the mail. I was really upset by that. And one of my good buddies in the community, Mr. Comic Man Andy, reached out to me, and he sent me this 9.8 slabbed comic. I could not believe it, and I just absolutely could never thank him enough. So this is it. Definitely got to be my second favorite in my collection. And the top spot is going to belong to a book that I have been after since I first started collecting. My favorite character in all of comic books growing up as a kid, I loved Sabretooth from that X-Men animated series. He's always been my favorite, so of course I was always after Iron Fist 14. I was recently able to pick up an 8.5 slab of this book. It looks really good, and I think with a press and a reslab, it may actually grade a little higher. I got a smoking deal on it. Could not believe I was able to get it for what I did, and I'm so pumped to have it in my collection.
All right, Dustin, again, another impressive set of comics. I still think my top 5 are probably a little better. But with that being said, number 5 on the list is going to be Dragon Ball Z, issue #1. What's special to me about this book is it's the first series that I actually completed all of. But then I was able to take that book, and whether you think it's smart or not, I took it to Sean Schimmel and was able to get him to sign it. So that was a pretty neat experience for me. Number 4 on the list is going to be none other. And number 4 on the list is going to be none other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue #4. Now, I know Dustin had it for number 5. I felt like it's a little more important in my collection, so I bumped it up just a little bit. I picked this book up for probably a third of what it goes for, and this book is clean. And the artwork, everything about it, to me, it just speaks classic indie comics, and I love it. Because, they're kind of like the original indie comics guys. All right, third on the list is going to be Infinity Gauntlet, issue #1. This book is important. It's my first ever comic book I picked up. I picked up 1 through 6, but I still love #1 the best. The iconic Thanos on the cover with the gauntlet. You can't beat it.
Except for my issue #2, which does beat it.
Next on the list is going to be Killing Joke. Now, this was one of my mini grails when I first started collecting. I think it's an absolutely classic Batman story. Now, I was able to pick up 3 copies raw. I sent all 3 of them off to CGC. 2 of them came back as a 9.8. 1 of them came back as a 9.6. The only one I have left out of that is the 9.8, which is actually the first purchase of the Killing Jokes out of the 3. Top spot on the list is going to be Marvel Comics Presents 1000. Now, this is the D23 Expo Edition variant or the Gympire variant. Now, I know everybody thought it was going to be my little girl's footprint book, but I decided to keep it to a more traditional comic book when I started this list. This is a book that I traded for recently. It's probably my most valuable book monetary-wise, but it's not so much about that as much as it is what it will hopefully mean to my little girl one day.
So I hope you guys enjoyed our top 10 picks of our collections. I kind of hate, Nick, that you had to put your list in the same video with mine, and I hope people will still give you some props because you really did give it that good try. Guys, make sure that if you are new to our channel that you hit the subscribe button, click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming content. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and leave us a comment. Who do you think had the best top 10 list?
And as always,
Collect your way.